The Please Touch Museum was founded in 1976 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It is duly named as it encourages its patrons to interact with its displays. While the museum caters to children, people of all ages enjoy the various displays, artwork, and events. After over 30 years since its founding, the museum moved into historic Memorial Hall, which was built in 1876. But due to its large, open spaces and solid marble construction, finding an intelligible sound system proved to be very difficult.
When we opened in 2008, we found that the sound quality in that hall was not adequate. And in short, it was just difficult to hear speakers. It was difficult to hear music.
Understanding that the solution to their existing sound system's intelligibility issues would not be an easy one, the museum called on local Pennsylvania audiovisual integrator Mainline AV International for help.
When we were first contacted by the Please Touch Museum, obviously we were very excited to take on the project, it being such a wonderful part of Philadelphia culture, and also the building being part of Philadelphia history. However, when going into the space and looking at the reality of what we were faced with, the room really posed a great challenge. You have an 80-foot high glass dome ceiling, complemented with marble walls and marble tile over the floor. So, I mean, really just a hard, difficult environment in which sound doesn't do too well in.
When we use that space to make presentations or to have a concert for kids or just to play music on a daily basis, we found that because it's such a large space and because of the way the architecture is, the builders in 1876 didn't anticipate that 100+ years later we would be using this space with a speaker system.
When we started looking at the options as to what to do and we're evaluating the older system, we kind of realized that you can't just go in there and throw a bunch of speakers at it. That was what was done in the past. Clearly it didn't work. So we started exploring the different technologies that we could work with, and of course, being a Bosch and EV dealer, all signs pointed right to the Bosch Vari-array system.
The Vari-array by Bosch Communication Systems is unlike other common speaker systems. With its self-powered and processed design, it allows integrators such as Mainline the ability to focus the sound digitally by using computer software. By using this technology, Mainline AV was able to greatly increase the amount of direct sound reaching the listeners while minimizing the reflections off of the hard surfaces. An approach like this would not have been possible using conventional speakers.
When you walk into Hamilton Hall, the first thing you notice is, amongst other things, the architecture, the torch that we have made out of toys, but also you notice the music and how clear it is. But what you don't see are the speakers. And I think people often need to really focus on the room before they see the speakers.
We were able to come in, bolt the speakers to the wall, run very little cable, and ultimately keeping the cost down for the museum. As we all know, especially with nonprofits, cost is a huge factor. This new system not only was leaps and bounds better than what they had, but it was a fraction of the cost.
Another challenge faced when designing the museum's new sound system was making it easy to use for their non-technical staff.
I think what's important to understand about what's different between the system we had before and the system we have now is our ability to comfortably use it.
One of our goals was obviously to make it easy to use, especially in an environment where a lot of different people were going to use the system. It's kind of ironic that the last thing that people wanted to touch in the museum was the sound system.
We are educators. We're not necessarily AV technicians.
Putting in the EV NetMax made everything so much more simplified for them. I mean, really, a push of a button, you can change zones, you can turn up volumes on different inputs, and it made it easy. So many times you see where an install goes in and you're receiving phone calls back from the client. They've pressed something, they've messed something up, they can't get back to where they were, and this has really never happened at the museum, which is a true testament to the technology.